what's happening to all the fellow grown-up gamers out there and really everyone in between. It's Chase Windu here coming to you with this video as an introduction, if you will, to what I've been working on and playing here lately. I thought about getting the whole YouTube content creation, streaming off the ground there for a bit a while back, and ended up starting to expand the family a little bit. Got a new job. Pandemic was still hot and heavy in the middle of all that, so this is a return, if you will, to doing these videos and things like that. And we're starting with the fact that I returned to Valheim. I was kind of scratching the itch with different games on survival and crafting. I tried Ark, got back into No Man's Sky a little bit, and tried the Forest and a couple other ones, but found myself going back to Valheim. Despite what happened to me before, I died 2 islands over, couldn't get back to my stuff, and I was just no, wasn't going to touch it anymore. But went back to Valheim. But this time we've got a dedicated server with some friends on there. We've started to kind of build a community or a town, if you will. It's a small group, but this video is basically a tour of that town and kind of what we've got set up. And perhaps this is going to be kind of an introduction to more videos into what we're doing on Valheim, or at least provide a little detail to anything I do as far as streaming goes. So I'm going to do some voiceovers over it to kind of explain where everything is, but hope you enjoy it. And if you do, give us a like, subscribe, all that good stuff. Hopefully, we're going to get some of this off the ground. Starting to do a lot with TikTok as well, and I'll put those links down in the description and things like that. So we're going to go ahead and jump into it. So, good morning in the world of Valheim. Waking up. This is day 320. This is the house that I built that I've got. This circular stuff was a pain. I've seen some stuff out on these Valheim groups that what people are building are insane, and I'm not that caliber by any means, but I was very proud of my little round house there. I got the openings for the smoke on the side. This house over here actually belongs to another player on the server as well. Of course, some of the torches go out, obviously, whenever we're on and forget to relight. This is another house that was built by another person on the server. We've added a few more folks to the server. They haven't got their houses built yet, but we've got that space over there to do that. Right now, we're running around to the front, actually, to kind of give a full tour from the front. So we built a moat, actually, all around the base. It's not, we didn't elevate the ground or anything. Daggone deer. This was a good spot as far as where we built the base, and you'll see when we pull the map up. But we're pretty close to the Black Forest. There's a mountain right across the way. Plains is nearby. But this is kind of the overarching base itself, kind of that wide view. But you can see the moat. We didn't raise the ground or anything, but it does serve its purpose generally. It won't. We've had some trolls get over it, but generally it does keep graylings and things like that out. Of course, sometimes, I decide just to shoot things randomly as I'm running around. But this kind of shows you the backside. But that boat goes all the way down and across. That actually, it was interesting. It was kind of a thing that we had in mind from the get-go, and we added a player to the server, and he basically dove right in on it. So that was great. And you put this little bridge with the iron gates to kind of add a little level of protection, if you will. Fortunately, we haven't had a whole lot of events that have caused us issues. The troll events get a little hairy, but so go in the front gate, of course. This is kind of the main hall. I'm not very good building with stone, obviously, as you can tell, with the top there and that tower. But over here on the side, we've got kind of the crops. I pretty much handle all the food stuff over there. We've got our beehives for honey, turnips, onions, carrots. So we've got all that going on over there. I haven't focused on expanding that or anything yet, but I do plan on it. But I pretty much do all the food stuff. This is kind of our main hall. You can see kind of the throne up there with all the trophies of the bosses and other enemies we've taken out. Cooking area. We've got our fermenters. I actually just did this the other day, putting all of our meads that we've made on these shelves to kind of free up some space in these chests over here, which I'll go over there in just a second. But the chests over there have meals and things like that. And yeah, trying to sit down in the throne, I knocked the troll trophy off um, of its mantle up there, and I've done that before, and it's actually fallen behind because it doesn't sit flush. And I tell you, it was a nightmare. I had to basically break the wall down from the other side in order to get the trophy that I knocked off on accident. So putting that troll trophy back, that was, I tell you, playing Valheim when you start out, troll's kind of the first big thing that, at least for me, that I was able to kill on my own that I was very proud of. Hence why it's right above the throne. But these chests here, food supplies, as well as crafted food. I keep that kind of loaded for anybody on the server so that we never have to worry about food. That's why I emptied out that bottom chest because we've added some more players over time. But this is all community based, so it's not, we've got our houses and we've got chests over there if we want to keep anything local to ourselves. But this building here, going back to the community piece, is for storage. So you can see wood, stone, coal, flint, and then items by alphabetical, and then metals and ores. So basically, anytime you've got materials, you can go drop them in there. But it's a known thing amongst everybody on the server that that's the community space. This is the armory. Same thing, community space. You've got some that are up on pedestals there on the display. The chests that are there also have kind of additional weapons, older gear, from the Bronze Age and things like that. This is the crafting building. Everything you need for crafting is in here. You've got your workbench, you've got your forge, artisan table, the rock cutter is there. Now, obviously, the rock cutter, end up moving that, taking it with us, but it's there. So everything you need for crafting or repairing is right here inside. And then we're going to go out this door to kind of show you the out back. You've got your blast furnaces, your smelters, the oven, of course, for the lox, pie, and bread, kilns, all that stuff here out back. And everything is connected. Of course, you can pop over to the other houses, go in through the armory here, which we're going to do. So everything is kind of connected there. Now, when we go over here, of course, you've got your windmill for barley, for your bread and everything. Now, I will say, so the initial build, because I'm sure folks are going to ask, the initial build of this when it started, I did do it locally and use dev commands, so don't think that all of this is kind of vanilla, if you will. Just kind of the initial, basically, the different shacks and things like that were done with the dev command, so I could spawn in everything I needed to kind of get started. That here was the wharf. That was where we started storing boats, and then one of the players decided to make it more sturdy with all this stone to put the slip in here. So we've actually got two, but one of the boats must be out. This here's our portal room. So this, basically every single portal goes somewhere relevant. This first portal takes us back to the kind of first base where I started, where the statues are, Elder Base, Bone Mass, Boss, the first kind of mountain space. We've got a farm in the plains for barley and flax. The emergency, so that was something actually I saw on a Facebook group. So if we're ever out and about, take enough for a portal and drop it, put emergency, and you can come back. Those other portals were, we've got the merchant, we've got the Ashlands, and we've got the north. You can kind of see where all we've been on this map. So we've gone far north. We've also gone far south to the Ashlands. Obviously, if you play Valheim, there's nothing in the north. If you don't play Valheim, just so you know. Same thing with Ashlands, but the items down in the Ashlands they're supposed to be doing more with, hopefully. Heading through a portal now, actually, to our plains farm. So you can only grow barley and flax in the plains. It won't grow in meadows or anything like that. So through this little space together, it worked out being kind of elevated like that. Kind of keeps the foolings and things out. Generally, not always, but it worked out pretty good. So I did, kind of elevate that a bit. This is convenient too, being that there's a mountain biome right there. But we keep all the flax and barley here. I always like to attempt to shoot these drakes down from down here. I've only gotten lucky like once or twice, but that time I didn't because I just hit a rock. But yeah, and again, I usually, as far as not that each player has a responsibility on the server by any means, but I generally will kind of handle a lot of the food stuff, as far as taking care of the farming and putting the barley in the windmill and making the bread and all that stuff. So this is kind of the plains space, but it's really just for farming. But there are some other biomes there. I don't have any smelters or anything there, or blast furnaces for black metal, being that we're that close. But I need to do that. But this portal, we've got a base right there near the motor spawn, the third boss, and not a whole lot going on here. But we do have a smelter for silver. Actually, that was again one of the players on the server did that. Silver was the grind for silver in this game is just so insane. But we've also started to find frost caves, which was the newest part of the content. I'm actually that's what I'm working toward now is getting they've got these like Wolverine claws, Fenrir claws, that I'm gonna try and get before too long. But that's the main reason we use it now that we've already defeated Motor. Except that we do have to defeat him a second time so I can get that trophy to hang in the hall because we've got the other bosses there. It was relatively new to us, the North and the Ashlands. Didn't realize that was even a biome, to be completely honest. I just wanted to see what was far north and far south. There is literally nothing in the north. I mean, it's like Game of Thrones on steroids, basically. There's nothing here. There's no materials of any kind. See, I actually walk out in the middle of a blizzard, which for some reason really jacks with your, or at least for me, it may just be my PC, but when there's a blizzard out here, I got to drop everything down because it gets real laggy on me. But yeah, I mean, there's nothing in the north except snow. That's it. There's no kind of materials or anything like that. But it is kind of cool. The blizzard doesn't really do it justice, but when it's not snowing up there, it's actually really pretty because it's like glaciers and broken ice out in the ocean and stuff. It's really cool. Now the Ashlands, though, which we're going to head to here now, it basically looks like a constant volcano down there. And you'll see here in a second. But there are materials down here. First off, you can farm Surtling cores down here because there's Surtlings running around everywhere. Literally everywhere. I had to be kind of creative making this base where I put it. So that's why it's kind of sort of surrounded by water and on stilts and on this rock to prevent the Surtlings from getting to it. But you can see in the distance there, it's flame metal ore. There is no, yeah, I love how it looks red on the map. It just kind of adds the aesthetic. And see, we've started marking different areas too, like the Mistlands, which isn't out yet. So we haven't gone on land to explore so that we don't hinder the update whenever the update happens. And yeah, you may or may not be able to see that icon, but it said dead tamed lox. I tried to tame a lox and put it on a boat and take it all the way across the ocean, and it ran after a sea serpent and died. So I don't know why I marked it except to just remind myself how upset I was. But with the Ashlands, though, I'm hoping the update also provides something with that flame metal ore. We're going to put smelters, and actually it won't be a smelter, it'll be a blast furnace that's needed for it. We're going to put that down at the Ashland so that we're ready when the update comes out. The last little thing here that I didn't show you at first, this was a tower, again, kind of makeshift, but this has turned out to be very handy in the like troll events. Again, not the best build by any means. We need to overhaul it. But the thing about it, though, is it gives a very good line of sight out here in front of the base. You can see we got kind of an endless supply of deer and graylings, but the troll events, a lot come from right there, actually, even though the Black Forest is over the other way. But yeah, so this is kind of our town and what we've got going on, and hope you enjoyed the tour, and look forward to providing some more Valheim content in the future.